Alright then, now we are live. Hey there everybody, welcome. I am going to be drawing some of this. As you can see, I got some nice background music. I hope that isn't too loud for you guys. I have to check it in a second. Some royalty-free classical music, because I don't know, it feels like it would fit with the thing. It's too loud for me, but then again, audio is different for me than it is for you guys, so let me just fix this one up. Just see. Alright. Let me turn it up a bit. Okay. Let me see. That sounds good. Gotta make sure that sounds good enough for all you guys. Yeah, that seems good. Alright then. I'll pause that stream over there. Glad we could get this, and going to tell some people about this really quickly. Yep. Let me see. Oh, there's already been one watching. Hello there. It might just be me. Might be. But if it isn't, hello! So nice to have you watching already. It's awesome. So, yeah, I'm going to be drawing of fan art from Adventure Time, because I watched the entire thing in like a week from episode 1, and I totally fell in love with this character, Fern, and so I'm gonna draw him just being absolutely adorable. Okay, just gonna tell some of my friends that I'm live streaming, because not too many people know about me. And not too many people watch, so it's nice to just tell people who I know would probably be interested in watching it. If not, then that's fine, you know. Like I said before, I do not want to force anybody to watch something that they don't want to, just because they feel obligated to. Still kind of working on a sketch here. Sorry if you wanted to see me do the sketch. It's mostly, I don't do that anymore because I tried to live stream once when I was drawing the sketch, but that did not work very well, as I got bored of the drawing inside the sketch and couldn't make it work out right, and I was just like, well, this sucks. So now I make sure I always have a sketch done of the drawing before I actually start working on it, so then I know that, okay, I'm into this drawing, it's working out well. I'm just making sure to make this darker. I'm going to be working lineless with this drawing. Going to kind of try to have a watercolor feel of it. I'm going to use the watercolor brush mostly. See that thing? This is a weird classical song. Ah, oh well. Okay, let me go to my live stream on here so I can see if anybody's chatting. Nope. Well, I'll see it if it comes up. Maybe if I'm not already looking at this drawing. Kind of from here. Have to say, I like the character's hair. All the Finn's hair. There's so many different Finns inside this show, it's kind of hilarious. It's like the one normal character is the spot-on hero, and that's what I like so much about this show, is like, wow, this one normal character that is, if out of everyone who's special and unique, he's the only human from the start. And then there ends up being so many different versions of him. You're like, well then, he was the only normal one. Now there's like 20 different versions of him that are unique. But anyway, it's still cool. Gotta make sure that this umbrella is good enough. Okay, that looks good. Just making the thing, as you can see, I'm gonna have a little teeny tiny Finn and Jake in the background. Just gonna kind of lighten that up. Oh, just lighten it a little bit. You know, just kind of like scenes kind of there exploring while Fern is just sitting up on the roof taking care of the art of the house. Oh my gosh, this character is so cute. I love him so much. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, I just remembered. 100%. Woo. Just wondered why my eraser wasn't working. Stupid me. Yeah, classical music works good with this mood. You know, I usually didn't like classical music, but then I started playing video games, and that got me really into classical music, the arts, and piano, which is something you wouldn't expect. You'd think, oh, video games, do that, but nah, I really got into it. It's like, wow! But that's because I played a lot of those RPG Maker games, like Eve, and I got really into those things, mostly just Eve. And then Undertale, and just all those songs in there, and if you play them on the piano and all that stuff, I mean, Eve, most of the songs are already played on the piano or music box style, while in Undertale, they just sound really good on the piano, so it just got me into, hey, we have a piano, I should learn to play the piano and then play my favorite songs on there. So yeah. Video games got me into wanting to learn how to play an instrument. I'm wondering if this perspective is really weird. Let me see. No. Bah. Let me look at this. That means that this is kind of like the vanishing point. No, I'm gonna make these two bigger again. I mean, I already made them bigger inside the sketch before, that's why they look so fuzzy compared to everything else. But that doesn't matter, because this is a sketch, and I'm gonna go over the sketch so they can look as fuzzy as they want. You know, I want my main focal point to be over here. I was going to draw this backpack on him, but I tried to. But as you can imagine, the physics of how to draw a backpack on a person when they're lying down is annoying, and I looked up a lot of pictures and references, and I just couldn't find anything to help. Yeah, I should probably. Backpack physics are annoying. When I was drawing this sketch for this pose, I was just laying on the ground like this character was like, how would my legs go? Just laying on the ground. Guy's having some sort of weird existential crisis. So yeah, this is grassy, you can kind of sink into it a bit. So you don't want to just have him sitting on it kind of like he's floating, but make it look like, see, just those little lines, and then later on some nice shading, we can make it look like he's actually inside of this grass, you know? And get kind of submerged in it, instead of just laying it splendidly gracefully across the small blades of grass. So yeah, you just gotta be mindful of all those little things. And another thing about this character, since he's made out of grass, you just kind of have to everywhere has little turns. You gotta make little, kind of like fur. Kind of like he has a little pelt of green fur on him. So everywhere has a little turn, you might wanna just boop, boop, boop. You don't have to put it everywhere, then that's just weird, but mostly wherever there's a joint would stick up like this, and then you kind of get the impression that, oh, it's covered in something. And that boy got that booty. And seriously, inside all the reference pictures I looked up for him, it's just like, dang kid, you got a booty. Oh, yeah, sleeves would go down here, so. One second, just looking at my shirt. See how folds work again. Be kind of like this. Then again, this character doesn't really have folds on his clothing. His clothing is made out of grass. Okay, 1 second. Ooh, images. Then put a space in there. Yay, all these references. Lovely references. I don't know. I like the pictures where his clothes are given dimension, like this guy. You see? That's what I like to see. Instead of just it on top of him and kind of blended in. Yeah. Okay, well, that's how I'm gonna draw it. Given a bit of dimension and not it just being painted in, you know? Do that, you just kind of draw it on like that. Have little parts where it sticks off. Make it nice and foldy on some places. Also, I given that little trick I showed you with the grass around here, on his stomach where his arms are just laying down. Here we go. And now, let's get some of this. Usually t-shirts have a little seam along here. Don't know if he would have mimicked that. But I'm gonna do it anyway, 'cause that's what I want to do. Yeah, that didn't work how I wanted it to. A little line right there. This is a good classical song. Seems like something good to dance to. Probably made the dance too. Oh, should I draw him with 4 fingers or 5 fingers? Probably 4, since they mentioned in the show that no one has had 5 fingers in a long time. Remember that because all the 8 seasons is fresh on my mind from 1 week of binge watching. And you gotta realize that 1 week was like had a lot of school in it, full-time school, so it wasn't just, oh, all day long. It's like, nah, I fit it in with school, and somehow Wait, how do thumbs work? Okay, thumb's gonna be pointing up to the face. Always get that wrong every single time. So, once I made a character that had thumbs on either side of his hand, so I wouldn't ever make that mistake with him. I haven't drawn him in a long time. I kind of forgot about it until now. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally did that to a character. You see, when I just get annoyed about a drawing trope, I usually just make a character that completely makes sure I never have that drawing trope. Like, if I don't want to draw hands or thumbs, I'll just, you know, maybe chop off their arms and replace them with dragon wings, or just chop off their arms indefinitely. You know, you can always be like, oh, I don't like drawing arms. Who said that they had to have arms? Oh, I let him create a character, but no, I don't like drawing legs. Who said they have to have legs? You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. This is for designing characters. I swear this is not for actual real life. Don't actually say, hey, I want to draw a person, but I don't want to draw their feet, so I'm gonna chop off your feet. Not in real life. I mean, actual character design. When you're drawing a character, a fictional person who will never actually be alive or experience pain. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with those. This arm just looks weird. That looks better, but then it messes up this. And I did not mean to do that. I love using hotkeys, but it's like I use all the wrong ones all the time. Because there's a brush, and then there's this button N, which does that. So, and then there's a wand, which selects, and then there's E right next to it. So, you see my problem, and I don't really look at the keys that I press because it's just muscle memory. So I make a lot of mistakes. And I'm too lazy to move the mouse, well, the cursor, the whacking pen, all the way over here, which is really not that hard. I'm just way too lazy. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna have one hand on the keyboard for the entire time. And I have hiccups because I have been drinking tea. Sometimes when I drink things, I get hiccups. This arm looks so weird. There we go. Wow, this is an epic song. Nice. I'm glad I'm finally able to get some actual music in here. Wait, does this character have shoes? Do you have shoes? Nope, he's got weird toes. Weird toes. See? Weird toes. Okay then, so how does the realistic one do it? Weird roots. Okay. It's just cool to see other people's takes on how these characters would look. And this one doesn't get bigger, so it's hard. It looks like they just did bare feet. Okay. Well, back to my own drawing, not other people's drawings. I would look this up on a different monitor, but I believe, as I said before, I ain't able to do that, so sorry. Okay, a little confused. Yeah. There we go. I wonder if royalty-free music can get ads on them, because I'm listening to this music off of YouTube, and I wonder if you can get ads for them, or if they're completely a non-profit. So I have not gotten one ad, but then again, that's not saying much. Ads barely exist on YouTube, and I keep forgetting to monetize my videos. So I'm not making penny or getting any ads on them. But I don't mind too much, but still, I'd like to monetize it. Even so, for every one person watches it, I think you get like 1/10 of a penny. So, I get about 5 views, so I'd get about maybe 1/2 cent per video. It's just funny to me. Oh well, I don't care. I mean, if I can make a nickel off of something, then off of something that I'd usually just do for fun, then why the heck not, you know? Let's see how to do this. Yeah, that looks good. What's about good for the sketching? I think I should start on. I think I will do the background first. Sketch on top. And have a nice gradients of blues. What is this song? Okay. This and yeah. Lighten it a bit. Lighten it a bit. Oh, just make sure it's solid. Mostly is. Look at that nice gradient. It's a nice gradient. Let's just color in this entire thing so it looks as a nice background for everything else. Let's just keep the gradient constant throughout the entire thing, because why not? Look at that nice gradient. I'm proud of that gradient. I think it looks good. Now, let's add some little cloudy on top of that. Since we're doing this kind of lineless watercolor style, this watercolor brush blends a lot. So the slightest thing, just blend all over it, so you gotta have a bunch of layers. Sometimes I could go up to like, I could do a crazy amount of layers, so I'm just gonna do some nice clouds over here on a separate layer. Darn it, I just said that. And you just should name all of them, because otherwise it's just hard. Clouds should be a constant. Look at that nice cloud. That's a nice cloud. And how to do clouds, you ask? It's pretty easy. You just kind of take something like this watercolor brush and just lightly create little teeny tiny circles. A lot. And it kind of creates a puffy cloud shape. Try to make the bottom, I made a mistake there. The bottom as flat as possible while doing whatever you want with the top. So that's usually how clouds work. I mean, it doesn't matter about the shape. Really. Or the size. Just try to make them light. And don't mind about them being see-through. It kind of creates a nice feel to it with them being just like that instead of something like this, you see? Yeah. And you don't need to make them that dark either. You can have something really, really light. You look up at the clouds in the sky, you see sometimes some really light things. I didn't like what went on there. Some things really light and kind of flowy, so don't be afraid to make something super light. Now for this thing, I want to have some interesting yellow lighting on everything. So I'm going to start with the clouds. You go Protect Alpha. And you kind of just do this. Wait 1 second. I want to make sure I know where my light is coming from. It's probably from like right up here. Okay, let me just create this, and I'll just put this up here. I like to use this tool, this little snap tool, just to know where my sun is going. It's usually will keep you, like, let me show you. It usually just makes how you draw. Can I show the people? Yeah, it just makes you only able to draw inside a straight line in accordance to that, but Hey, it looks like a sun and sun rays, and it helps you figure out where everything goes. And let me turn that off so I can actually do what I'm trying to do. Let's make it a darker yellow. Okay, so there's much to do about that. And you just kind of do the same thing with lighting, but you try to find some sort of form to it and go around through the lumps. And one thing I always have to say is always add a touch of colors to your clouds. Just a touch. You never know how many colors can be put into a cloud. Sometimes you might just think, oh, they're just white. No, you can put blues and purples and some pinks in there. But try to keep them, I mean, unless they're lighting. Yes, yeah. If they're lighting, then they should be warmer colors, but when they're shading, try to keep them like a dark purple, but always extremely light. And, you know, well blended in, so it doesn't look really, really weird. But yeah, if you want to draw clouds, so usually sometimes the hardest parts of a piece of art, and then I'll do some of the shading on it like this. Do a darker purple of that. And I'm very lightly touching it up. So you can see hints of purple inside that cloud. But not too much. Now what I want to do right now is, because some of this doesn't look blended out that much, is take this and pull the ease of mixing colors to 100 and just with the main base color go over some of it, and then it blends in really nicely. This is a good blending or blur brush. Okay then, so those look like some really nice clouds. After that, I'm gonna do the hills. And I need to use the restroom real quick. So I'll leave you with this pretty scenery. I really like how it's turning out so far. Probably gonna be using the restroom a lot because I drank a lot of tea. Still drinking a lot of tea. Thanks though. the back with the cat. Grabbed my cat while I was coming back. She was a big fluffy puppy. She's big and fluffy and white and kind of fat. Little blue eyes. Oh, I love my baby. She's never been in a live stream before. Say hi, kitty. Say hi. She's not making any noise. She's just kind of trying to stand up. Probably gonna eventually make a sound. I don't know. I don't know if you could hear her walking around. She was a good kitty though. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do these hills separately, one by one. Because I was thinking about it. I don't know if I said anything. Let me get rid of this line. I wanted to make that a hill, but I don't like that. So, hey, we're doing this now. Alright then. Okay, yeah, that was just the background thing. Is the music still going? Yeah, okay. I didn't hear it. I was kind of confused. So one thing about art, it's pretty good to know. One thing though, I kind of want to, before I do any of that, get an original picture of Fern and see what shade of green he is. You just take that? No, that's just searching. Give me a sec, sorry. Because I can't tell if he's more of a bluish shade of green or a yellowish shade of green. And now this thing just stopped working. Okay. There we go. That works. Oh, he's definitely a yellow shade of green. Okay, I was gonna go for blue. Alright then, so I'm gonna kind of give this entire place a yellowish shade of green. Let me see how this looks. So, like I was saying, one thing I was told by my art teacher is as things go further into the distance, they get darker. So, you just kind of work with a dark color. Look at that, and that looks good. And then block this out, and then as they get closer, they'll get darker. So that's why I'm doing them in separate layers. Let me see. This needs to have a more of a structured. Is this the same color? Seems like it. We kind of want to have, like I was saying before, a yellowy tinge to it. On the top. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. I see what was my mistake. Ah, I was coloring on top of layer 1, not the hill layer. Which is why it was doing weird stuff. Okay then. One thing we're going to do with all these hills is that we're kind of, even though this doesn't have lines in it, we're going to kind of make a line by changing the value of tones on the very top. So this line is going to be brighter, this line's going to be brighter, this is going to be brighter, this one's going to be brighter. So it's going to appear almost like a line is. Once you change the gradient, it's kind of what things do. And let me show you something. I've got this color here. How does this work? I don't know. I've seen some people do it. It's like color. Nah, I don't know how to do it, but it's just this weird thing where they have changes of value and you could see a line, but then there isn't really a line. It's an optical illusion. I thought I could draw it out on the wrong brush. There we go. Make it soft and neat. Soft and neat. Okay, so time for some nice yellowish green. Protect alpha. You always have to have a gradual one. You don't want just a line of highlight. You always have to have everything gradual if you're gonna make it realistic. Some stylistic choices, highlights, or really dark things might come as just white for stylistic choices, but in real world, everything has a little bit of a gradual soft edge to it, and nothing is a hard line. Unless it's just like the outline of an object. And I'm talking about lighting, so. Let me brighten this a bit. So even if you want to have this really bright, like I want it to, you gotta make sure that it blends in nicely. And since I don't want this anymore, so it doesn't interfere. Oops. Blending it in nicely. See that? Look how nice and smooth that hill looks. I like that hill. Okay, now to go on to a different hill. Like we said, we're gonna make things lighter as they move forward. So, hill 2. You know what? Let's still work on hill 1, but let's work over here. So I feel like these two would be on the same plane, this one would be in a different one, and then these two right here. See, so 1, 1, 2, 3, 3. And we're still on Protect Alpha, okay. This is a cute song. Realize I have these two little teeny tiny characters right on the edge of that, and that creates a tangent. Did not realize that before, so I'm going to go outside of these sketches a bit, just so that you see, it looks like they're standing on the hill, but not like right on top of it. Like they're within space, you know? You never really want something to be right on top of a thing, but you know, you always want to make it look like some of it is coming forward off of where their feet is. You never want to have these feet right here, right there on the edge, which I accidentally did in the sketch. You see, that's why you draw a sketch first, because then you realize, hey, that thing I did, not good, yo. I can change that because it was a sketch, and there was nothing in it that I made in the sketch that I might keep. That looks good. Now we're just kind of blocking all this. And later, I'm just going to put these things over so I don't have to worry about staying in the lines. If these things are going to be colored over. And there we go. I think that was the color we had. This one's gonna be a little harder because there's gonna be a shadow on this one. 2 little shadows for the 2 little people. Gotta make sure they have a place in this universe. They aren't just weird floating things that may or may not be ghosts. Make sure the edge is always a little lighter. Yeah, it's nice. That's a nice thing. Now we get this. I see a little thing I did here. Let's see, because the thing about watercolor is one thing it's hard to do is make it all one solid color. And you want to have it nice and smooth. Sometimes in some places it's transparent and lets this color show through. Too bad, but okay. My kitty is here. You can probably hear her now. She's a good kitty. I love my kitty so much. Now, what we want to do with shadows is have them become more gradual the further they come away from a person. See this? Kind of have it dark right at where they're standing and more hard edge as it comes out. Just make it gradual and kind of make it slope with the slope. See, just like that. Make sure there isn't that weird thing in the center, and then maybe go in with this color of just the outside edges around here to make it fade away more. Oh, I like that shadow so much. Okay then, let's get in with another one of these, but come on up here, kitty. Come on up here. Come on up and be a nuisance. I don't mind, I love you. Talking to my cat again. Probably gonna talk to her a lot. Because I like her. Okay, gonna do the same thing with this shadow. Gonna take away some of the darkness of this color. And he's a lot taller than Jake, so we'll just see. Let's increase the color a bit so that and there they are, the two little shadows on a little hill. I really am liking how this is turning out. You guys have no idea. Really happy about this. Okay, so we've got this color right here onto hill 2. Let me take a drink. My mouth is parched. Oh yeah, just realized I forgot to. Nope, go forward a bit. Yeah, gotta change the color a bit. That's a little too much of a change from here. No. Still gotta make it noticeable of a change, but I don't want it. Is that? Yeah, it looks good. And then we'll add along the edges where this is the yellow so that it does not blend in too much. So we're gonna put lighting over there so that it looks good. Pretty hills. I don't see why I don't do more of these types of drawings more often. Usually I just do the lines and all that stuff, and I do regular flat coloring and barely averages, but I love these kinds of drawings. I rarely ever do them. I don't know why. I need to do these more. Looks so good. And let's get ourselves a nice yellow green. And I realized we had that way too high. Especially along here. And let's just say, see? Now there is a natural line between these two because of the line. Nope. Hill 3, the last hills. Okay. I'm just stacking thing upon thing on top of each other as they go from the backdrop to the front. Whatever they are stacked upon each other. Okay then, so these ones would be a little lighter than this. So, about right here. Oh, I'm gonna load the color a bit more, shrink it down. Thing is, even though this one isn't overlapping with that one, I kind of have a feeling that it's a little closer than it because of color and no, just this is what I like. Yeah. No. Okay. Just gotta play around with it to get the perfect color. It's not exactly blocked in there. So you kind of get a feeling that this is closer than that one, even though they do not directly overlap. Because of the thing that I told you earlier. And I keep forgetting. Load the color. And go. Now for hill 3. Oh, no, behind hill 3. Now for the second hill on hill 3. Second hill on the third hill. That's confusing. I have to say, fan art is not something that I usually do. Now I think of it, I don't think I've really drawn fan art for any of my favorite series. And sometimes I want to. Usually the only fan art that I'll do for a series is my own thing, which isn't really of the series, just set within the series universe. Like, for role-playing, or for an original character for that series. And like, oh my gosh, you make original characters in series, fandom does that, and that's what makes them horrible. Yo, dog, I don't do what that crazy fandom does. I don't know what's going on with that crazy fandom, but I don't do that. I don't do weird self-insert original characters. And I just realized this thing has got to go all the way down. Okay. Back down there. Since it's fading away, or down there, I should probably give it some feeling of value leading up to it. Yeah. Feels good, and I am going to actually right on top of hill 1 do F, and I don't know what that means. Probably. I know what it means now. Okay, these are gonna be hard to color in. Let's do it like this. And don't really know what color he is. Feels like it might be that, but a little brighter. Yeah, it looks good. We could just boop-a-doo-boop. Have to get a sense of scope and where its body is using shading and lighting in a minute, so that you can tell exactly what's going on even without lines. Gotta remember that the shadow, the light is coming from the top. And so there are many different variations in shadows. If you don't know, see, it's not just one core shadow. You can block in another darker shadow to work as an extra outline. But make sure that it ends up blended in the end. See, you get a little doggy there. Little puppers. Okay then. Now we gotta put a little Finny in here. Wait 1 second. I forgot. Gotta add this, boys. Yellow highlights. Said what I would do, then forgot to do. Just gotta do it the only things that are gonna be hit at the light. Because there are some things, even though that they aren't in shadow, they aren't technically straight in light either. And this is gonna be fun. Alright then. I think I'm going to have to use several different layers on this one, but going to start with just one layer. Also not protect alpha, because that would be dumb. Contrary to popular belief, Finn has a neck. I know, it's strange, isn't it? Oh, I just feel like it feels right to actually put his neck in there, even though his cap, his weird hat thing, goes all the way down like a hood. I like drawing the neck. That's a absurdly long neck, but you know what can fix that? Higher shoulders! Nah. We could also that doesn't work. We could also fix that is moving this down. Both of them down. So making sure not to crop any of them on accident. Gosh, it is really hard to see what's going on here with my colors. I do not know if it's looking right or not. Okay, well, first gotta make sure it's not doing that. Jeez. Got little shoulders and little jelly bean mud. Hey baby jelly bean mud. To say, inside this show, it feels like it's one of the only shows that makes the characters in it age. Finn started out at 13 and then he's all of a sudden like, I'm 16 now. I'm like, what? He actually aged inside the show? It's canon even though he didn't look like he aged? I mean, I'm sure this is something that happens in a lot of different cartoons, but usually you just don't see it. Especially since in a lot of those big animated series, either they don't talk about the age at all, or it just doesn't happen and they stay at a constant. Like, I don't know, you say Simpsons, Family Guy, SpongeBob, all those, not all those start with an S. What am I talking about? Family Guy starts with a F. Alright then, well. Their little stick arms, they barely have any form. So you can see a gradient of blue coming from over here. Hope that won't be noticeable from, well, yeah, no, that's not even noticeable when you're looking all the way out here. You just see a little person. You kind of see the colors and you're just like, oh, that must be Fanny. Fanny. Yep, because that's his name. Yeah, it's good. This is a weird song. Over there. Yeah, they look like good shorts. I guess the main thing is that, what I was talking before, is that with cartoons, you just usually don't get enough seasons to really see them age. Rarely, like, some of those really good cartoons that we love from the past, such as Danny Phantom, what was another one? Invader Sim. You know, those things that have the cult followings that we just, all of us adore. They didn't really last long enough to have the characters age. And then other ones, like, I think Fairy Odd Parents made up some excuse for a reason why the characters don't age. Which I'm not gonna say it in case somebody doesn't want Fairly Odd Parents spoiled. Don't really know why, but hey, if you're binging Fairly Odd Parents, you know what? Good on you, and you binge that show, and you figure out all those secrets. No spoilers from me. No, I'm just gonna really quickly. Too lazy to deal with it. Wahaha, another layer. Its body has like 0 form to it, but it's so small. I have no idea how many pixels small this is. My goodness. Teeny tiny. What color shoes does he have? Yeah, as you can see, I looked all these things up, but because I was doing the sketches. But it's oh yeah, he has those black and white bootsies. How can I forget the black and white bootsies? My gosh, those things are like focus of some episodes. Which is weird. Why would they make the bootsies a focus of episodes? But yeah, those cute little bootsies. Always like that part of a character. This character. And then you just kind of play around with the layers a bit. One thing you never want to do is use solid black. That just is really bad because if you want to shade it, if you want to put lines of it, if you want to do anything with it, it's too bad. Sometimes solid black works for stylistic choices if you're going to go in with white outlines. But sometimes you can do that way too crazy and it just looks really wrong. So always be careful, and if you don't really know how to do that or what you're doing, good idea is just to not do it in the first place. Okay, I'm gonna keep 2 layers for now so I could, oh yeah, and I'm just gonna, no, we gotta rename it again, oh well. As if that took forever, you know? Does that really matters? Gotta go over it a lot to make sure it doesn't blend weirdly. I want this to be yellow green, not blue green. Almost forgot the straps. Can't have a backpack without straps. Gotta give those form too and make it look like they're peeking out over the shoulders. And we gotta give it a little bit of this. Look, it's doing pretty good. Those hips are a little too wide. Gonna work on that. Did not realize in the sketch, but sometimes you don't realize things until you actually draw them out. I'm just gonna redo this entire arm because I don't like it. Also, it doesn't work well with the shadow, so let me see if I could just kind of work with this a bit. Okay. No. Well, maybe, but not like the way I was doing. What? What? Nah, that didn't work very well. Let me just really carefully, let me see if I can splice this. And just move it over like one, no, I mean 1 pixel, but you gotta go in like this, just put, I'm gonna have to edit that, the hills, 1 second. There we go. Looks a lot better. And you gotta make sure the shadows actually coming from a good place. Oh yeah, I forgot his arm. Yeah, I totally forgot the whole arm thing with him. Haha. Yeah. Okay then, well. I didn't even know I had the blending on for this part in the first place. I still kind of want to have it on his hip. Like he's a sassy boy. Yeah. I think this is the right arm. Because usually it looks the other way. That's because he's flipped around inside the cartoon. I'm positive it's his right arm. Absolutely positive. Yeah. From this way it's the right arm, so it'll be like this. Have those weird fingers that you won't even really be able to tell what's going on there. So let's just... We're the only ones who will know his fingers actually exist. Ha ha ha! Yeah, that's a lot lighter gray. Oh, good. Yeah, that's how it looks, kinda. It goes up the arm a little bit more. There we go. I'm glad I got rid of that arm. Now I ask myself some embarrassment. If somebody went really close into the drawing, it was just like, is his arm right? Knowing people, they would totally do that. Let me make this a little lighter. I fixed the blending. I don't even know why I was blending in the first place. I mean, I made it blend. So it wasn't like, oh, I forgot. Now I was just like, yep, blending. That's good. Let's blend. But honestly, this part, I did not need it even in the slightest. I'm pretty sure it was like a... Oh... Yeah, right there. It's like a little dark spot right here. It's funny how much... Why did you do that? Oh gosh. Aw. Do we do that like 3 pixels? It's funny how much detail I'm putting into something you could barely even see. Think about when I get onto the main focus. Okay, well, now it's time to go into shading, and now I can actually put this up. Let me do this more of a shape. Shade this one in a bit. It looks like he's turning his head a bit, you know? Yep. And then we shade. A little tip about shading is you never go straight down. That doesn't work like that. It gets really washed out. It makes the picture look washed out. You go diagonally towards it being a little more saturated. That's what you do. That's how you make it look really good with shading. Just a little tip from me. Sometimes when we're working with blending, it's cool to go from where the color that you want to blend is up into the color you don't want to blend in, so that you kind of keep it from blending too much. It's not going to be that much blending in this. Or, well, not just blending, just shadow. Because, see what I mean? You can see green everywhere. It's like you touch the smallest outer bit of the green. Wahaha, your entire shadow is green. No! Stop it, you evil monster. How dare you? How dare you do that to my drawing? You ever just look at some of this content and look at what people have done for it and think, wow. Someday I hope something that I do will ever inspire people to do this. Or to do that. I guess not everyone would, because not everybody's a creative person, you know? Guessing mostly just creative people think that way. People who, like I was saying, create content. Create something that could be recreated in a way that would involve fans. Because some people might not want to be a creative person, you know, and that's perfectly fine. You do what you want, bro. You want to become an engineer? Go ahead and do it. You want to be a scientist, and you probably don't ever think you'll get fan art? That's cool too. But you realize people like Einstein, pretty sure they've got a lot of fan art going for them. I mean, I don't think people call portraits done of famous people, really famous people like that, fan art, but come on, in a way it technically is. Throw me a bone. It technically is fan art. I forgot. I turned off Protect Alpha. When did that happen? I don't know. There we go. And now for a bit of the yellow highlight. And this is way too dark. Yellow color a bit more. Definitely would show better on this arm because, as you can see, there's metal. I don't know why I said metal like that. Okay, so. Isn't that shading nice? Can't you just tell what's happening all the way over there? You work so hard on it, and then you're just like, yeah, you can't even see it, but it looks cool. Okay. Now I have a bit of a question. Once again, lots of references. Sorry about that. Actually, no, I'm not sorry about that. Let's go. How does the color differ? Okay, so it's light green hills and kind of a... I'm thinking. Fern's gonna be a nice light yellow green, so it might be interesting to put in, as a contrast to make him stand out more, a dark blue green. Because otherwise he's just going to fade into everything else. And we gotta make him, this little buddy right here, adorable little sweetie pie, stand out. So that's what I'm gonna do, but I just realized I'm not on that part. I am on the umbrella stick. Yep. Probably on this part of the branch too, so stick. Cool. Okay. More looking at this. Just view image. To see what color everything is. This is a white. Cool. I'm not gonna put it white though. I'm gonna put a light. I want to do a light orange, but that's just skin color. Okay, a light yellow. I'm just going to increase this. always hard to do because you gotta make it nice and straight because it's supposed to be a straight line. You also don't want to make it look like you just used a line tool, you know? Because people use those tools for shame. Not really, I use them when like drawing in tiles. That's perfectly understandable. Something like this? You could if you wanted to, but I don't want to. I want to, but I'm not going to, because I decided I'm not going to. Use a line tool. My hand is starting to hurt. It's probably of no consequence, though, to you guys, but just thought I'd let you know that it is starting to cause me pain. Okay. That works good. And what kind of brown is that? Kind of an orangey brown. Okay, so this branch would not do what I just colored it in doing. Okay, that's cool. So we got to make a hill 3 extend down hither. I'll just make it extend all the way around here. That works. Okay. Make that more smooth. That's a good feel to it. Already time for the best part, shading. Since this is gonna be right here, I gotta sure we take into effect the things that are gonna be on top of it, causing shadow, including the steps, which would cause shadow. Maybe we could turn this down a bit and make it nice, and at the same time we'll go to this one. Make sure it's nice and blended in there. Also, I need to go over it a bit more over here to make sure we got a nice defined shadow in. Like I said, the closer it is to an object, the more defined it is. And that's with absolutely any shadow. Well, mostly cast shadows. And that's because they're cast by an object. Technically, all shadows are cast, so if you look at everything in a technical light like I do, you can look at it that way. Go, and now gotta do is just a bit of a gradient to go downwards with a bit of extra darkness right here. Okay, looks good. Now we can go to boat step okay. Yeah, no one would be able to tell what the heck that is except for me. It's a boat, the steps, and the umbrella. What color are the steps? A little more of an orangey. Like this. But like this. Nope. More yellowy than that. Nope. Yeah. Okay. What? Oh, no, I'm never turning on that. Not. I don't want to have solid lines. I mean, if I did, then I would go to pen. I want to give it a nice soft feel. You know, soft, warm feel, like everything's made out of softness. Yeah, I'm very good with words. Nice soft feel when everything is made out of softness. The word I was gonna say was cat fur, but then again, that puts into a really gross picture of your mind. When I think of cat fur, I just think of my kitty. And then just think of how soft she is. Okay, so we got these. And then, kind of look uneven, but... Oh, okay, so I did, as you can see inside the actual picture, I believe this is the actual picture of it, is that they are uneven. Probably because they were made by kids. Okay, boat is top half white, bottom half blue. Okay, so I'm gonna have two parts to this. You'll see. The highlights aren't gonna be white, they're gonna be yellow, so it's okay to use pure white. Also, once again, not just careful in using pure black, but careful in using pure white, because when you use pure white, you can't add highlights to it. Unless your highlights are a different color, like I'm making mine a yellowy color, and I forgot to put highlights on this. I wanted to put highlights on that. Oh yeah. We're gonna have more of an orangey yellow for this. Oh, no. It's not turning out the way I wanted it. Well, it is in a lot of ways, but I can't really see where the highlight would be. So it's kind of hard to put it in there. Okay, that's good. And I just drew the line. Sounds like a song that would be in Bug's Life, doesn't it? Anyone getting that vibe from this song? You guys still hear the songs? I don't know. I'm liking them though. I mean, I'd like to put in my own tunes, but hey, copyright. So this will have to do for now. Okay, so we quickly get into here. No, I didn't want to do that yet. I wanted to get all the colors first. And for the bottom, I'm gonna do the yellow. And for once, we're gonna have yellow highlight on yellow, so that's gonna be weirdish. But what I'm gonna do is gonna make it a more orangey than it looks like inside the picture, so that when we go over it with yellow highlight, it stands out more. You see? Check something, see how many people are here. me go actually to full screen so I can see everything. Ah, no one's watching. Alright. One person left. Alright then, well, even though you ain't here, bye-bye. Hope you had a fun time. Hope it wasn't because I used the restroom that you had to leave. I'm just scratching my back. So I kind of zoomed it out. So I ain't bored by the same shade of yellow while I scratch my back. And then we gotta do... this little number. One thing I have to ask about Adventure Time is that why haven't they changed the theme song? I'm not saying actually changing how the theme song went. No, I like that. I'm just saying that sometimes when things happen inside a show that changes maybe the way a character looks drastically and it stays permanent, then maybe you should change that so it reflects inside the theme song so that you're like, wow, this feels like it's a really crucial part to the story, and it feels like it's not just going to disappear or get better, you know? I mean, I've seen that happen in a lot of theme songs. They just change one little detail because they change one little detail of the character that's going to be a main part of the character for in eternity, and then they change how this looks. But, you know, they add a lot of characters, they do a lot of stuff, yet kinda don't change the theme song at all. It's a little weird, you know? And I don't really know why. Maybe it's a whole budget thing, but it feels like it could get us a lot more involved into the story if they were to do that. Just the simplest little tweak. Just, you know, kind of get us inside the mood of, wow, this is permanent. Wow, I should really care about this and not just feel like, nah, it'll probably all get better soon. Or it'll probably change because it always does change. Nothing really stays the same inside cartoons, you know? So a lot of times in cartoons, it's hard to get, or just any sort of animation series, it's really hard to get invested into a character or their life or their relationships, because usually what happens inside that relationship doesn't really end up inside at the very end. You know, a thing changes, but then suddenly it doesn't. And you go on to the next episode, you're like, wait a second, what? Didn't this change? And they're like, nah, this is a new episode. Nothing changes. Nothing ever changes. Everything stays the same. You get what I'm coming from? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they may change it, but then it's just a weird story arc, and then they put it back so that they could do the same stuff over and over again. Where if the character dies, you decide, it doesn't really matter, because usually in the end, at the very end of the episode, they will be back to life with little to no explanation of how any of that happened and why any of that's a thing. So, that was a huge rant for just saying that I feel like when something happens, they should change the theme song a bit to kind of couple that or show that. But anyway, I don't know. Tell me if you agree. Tell me if you're, here. 2, 3. Yeah, there is. Okay. Seeing how many lines are in this. Oh, wrong one, of course. I do have to say, some cartoons do that right. Make things feel permanent and kind of scary. I don't think I ever really felt too much about that way with Adventure Time, to be honest. So I knew inside the end that no matter what happened, they'd always find a way to win and always find a way to fix whatever problem lies ahead. Maybe 1 or 2 little things might change, say, relationship or character design or something like that. But other than that, nothing huge ever changes in the end. The way a story is written and the whole tone does stay pretty much the same. But sometimes they can do that right. But mostly just in shorter cartoons, and I guess I get why. Though I have to say, it would be interesting to see inside a 10-season cartoon or something like that, drastic things happening throughout the times and getting major tonal shifts. That would be really interesting to see. One look. Yeah, this is an orangey red. Is it desaturated? Oh, it's kind of like right here. Yeah, that looks about it. Okay, there we go. No, not projectile, clipping. See? Cool. Okay. I just think it'd be interesting because a lot of times they say, well, you can't blame a show for eventually running its course because in that show, there's only so much that you can pump out. I'm like, yes, but imagine that same show, but where something drastic happens that changes every single thing that could be inside of us, inside the show. I don't know, imagine something like Simpsons, where they move across the world and they literally live like that for the rest of the entire show and they never move back. Now, you can go on all you want about complaining, I get why it kind of feels like it's not interesting anymore, like they kind of got rid of their ideas and got rid of, I don't know how to say this, they kind of ran out of ideas. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, I get how they ran out of ideas. It's like, yeah, because you're doing the same exact story. Now try taking these characters and putting them into a whole new setting and not ever putting them back. Then again, that is a pretty risky move to make, if you think about it. I mean, not many people would really like The Simpsons, everybody moving to China and never coming back home. I mean, to be honest, how many people would really enjoy that happening inside the show? Not many people. Be a lot of characters you'd miss, you really like. And that goes for like every show. It's a big, careful, scary version of give and take that you don't know what you're doing with it. You're just trying everything you can just to make it work. And I get it, but like I said, it could help a lot to try to do that. Maybe it might not. Maybe it'll just be really interesting. If it doesn't work and you don't see views going up, you could always revert back to your little ways, you know. Say, this didn't work out. They're gonna move back to wherever they were beforehand. Because I don't watch Simpsons. I'm just using it as an example. Because I feel like people care about it more than Family Guy, and I feel like using Adventure Time with its 8 seasons as an example would be kind of beating a dead horse. So I'm just pulling into other fandoms, other places. And that thing have like 20 seasons, not 10. Honestly, don't know. Decided, hey, one day I'm gonna try to watch it all. Got to like season 1. Kind of just stopped. It's like, it's good, but it's good for casual watching, not really binge. Or at least that's my idea of how I feel about it. And if you don't feel the same way, then that's cool. You can binge it all you want. Hardcore watching, I mean, I don't know. All I saw were a few episodes. I don't know how much. You think it'd have a huge, deep plot to it? I wouldn't know. I didn't watch it all. I just watched a few episodes. Okay, so now I need to add the extra color to the umbrella. Object alpha. And this is a red-orange. Okay, I like that color. I know how to get it. Kind of. Now I gotta be completely saturated. Yeah, it works. Let's see. Be about a sticker. Alright then. My hand is hurting. I'm just a bit confused. Like, how does that happen? Okay, so that's how you do it. It's Z. You hold down Z, and is that the eraser? I do not know. Let me try over here. Yeah, it's like a mini eraser. You hold down Z. I did not. I saw sometimes I do that when I'm doing Control Z and I'm super confused. Okay, now I know what to do. Don't do Control Z, that's what I know what to do. What not to do is what I know what to do. Okay. Okay, let me do this. Yeah. I like how this is looking. A lot. I like how this is looking. This is looking good. I'm complimenting myself. I don't care. I like it. I think I'm doing a good job. And I will compliment myself if I feel like it. Jeez. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna do this part right here. I'm not talking too much right now. Kind of just got into a quiet days of drawing, you know. Vented about cartoons because I watch too many cartoons for my own good, because I am obsessed with animation and I'm not afraid to admit it. I think it is a beautiful, wonderful thing. People call animation childish. I laugh and say, who has to create it? Children? Nah, them are some professional adults. You wouldn't call Disney child. If he came back to life randomly, you wouldn't say, oh, Disney, so childish and immature for making a huge industry off of animations. Gosh, you should grow up and watch more live action in Marvel. Now, you wouldn't say that. So don't say it to people who like animation, okay? Animation is a good thing. I mostly love it because I love to see what they can do with it. Animation, I feel like, should be mostly used to portray things that you can't do in live action. Such as just things you would see in practically any movie that is animated. Anything that's animated usually is animating things that you just can't replicate with live action and costumes. Or you can, and it will look hokey. So it's pretty much animation is just like, honestly, anything the human mind can come up with, but it's actually made, actually shown. That's why I find it so fascinating with it, to just see what people can do with it. I get so excited to see, oh, what are they going to do with the animation this time? What are they going to show? What are they going to create? What are they going to make that cannot be replicated by us as humans? No? And if you think about it that way, I don't know, maybe it would seem more fascinating to people who don't like it as much. Or maybe not. I'm not those people. Maybe Even if you don't like it that much animation, or you're not a huge animation nerd like me, hey, hearing what I say would probably make you feel like, ah, yeah, sure, I guess it makes sense why people like it. That's cool. I mean, I don't know. Tell people that stuff, like my mom. I'm like, you see how I like it that much? She's like, no. I'm not into. I'm like, you could at least pretend. Oh well. Look at all of these. Look at how many layers there are so far. I don't think I've saved this in the entire time. Let me save this. Oh my gosh, if I lost it, I would probably cry. Not an exaggeration. I would end up bawling if this was lost. But yep. House. Finally! Now, what I said I was gonna do is create kind of a dark blue. Okay, the first song with actual singing. More saturated dark blue. A less dark blue. This isn't dark blue, this is... Here we go. This is a weird song. Oh well. I mean, I don't really care if this is the accurate color of it. It's going to definitely make this guy stand out in the end. It's going to be all worth it. It's gonna look fantastic. Fantastic. If you get where I'm coming from. I'm like terrible puns sometimes. And then I get angry at my friends for making terrible puns that are better than mine. But not because they're better than mine, no, I just get angry because they're bad puns. And honestly, when do you make a bad pun where someone just doesn't glare at you? I mean, if you make a bad pun, pretty much so the needed reaction for life is just to glare and possibly scream. I mean, that's just kind of how life works, you know? It's a lot of screaming at bad puns. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of shading to this thing. Time to get going. And just doing some small shading. You can see, and now I'm gonna, there we go, kind of change this a bit so that it looks a lot more gradual. And we can also take this, go like here, and put this all to one. And even take this and push this down a bit to make it not blend so quickly. We can just go like this. Let's blend it in. Quite not too good. Kind of okay. Alright. I didn't like how that turned out. Ignore everything I did. Let's start again. Let's actually use Protect Alpha because I'm a nerd. I'm an idiot. Let's just fix this. Alright. Now, let's actually look at how this is gonna work. Yeah, I realize it. Yeah, that's why I was doing that. This guy's going up here. It's gonna be dark right around here. Let me see. Looks a lot better than what I had done. Let's see how it looks when I'm done doing what I'm thinking of doing. You know, adding highlights and more shadows to this. Let's make it a little more blended in and gradual. Doesn't look like it's just some weird line. Especially along the tips. Let's try to do this a bit. Okay. Alright, you guys, I think I'm gonna leave this off right here. Might come back to this on the live stream. I'll probably do it on my own time though. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I haven't eaten dinner yet, my hand hurts. Either way, it's been a long time and it has been a fun time. And I ranted about animation because I'm obsessed with it. Let's see how long this went. Around 2 hours. Yep, it's a long time. Well, anyway, this has been a lot of fun. I had a great time drawing with y'all. I just said y'all. My goodness. Anyway, goodbye.